Hey all, Steve from GuitarNiche here. On the bench we have a lovely Fender American Deluxe V-neck, N3 noiseless pickups, locking tuners, S1 switching system, lots of good stuff going on here. But the point of this video is cleaning the neck. I noticed that well, there was a little bit of finger marks starting to show up and the frets are kind of gungy. So I'm going to show you my cleaning process, which with this urethane neck should work just fine. And it starts with the brass bristle brush. Now I would not recommend using this on a high polish or high gloss neck, because it does have, of course, an abrasive quality to it, and you know, you're going to see some scrubbing marks. But with this, it's actually going to brighten it up a little bit. It's going to add some polish to it. But this is the process. What this does, again, is get into the knees of the frets and cleans out some of that junk right up against the, the edge of the fret. Just flits it out, if you would. Okay. Now the fun part, I noticed there was some almost like, I guess there was a little bit of lacquer maybe creeping on maybe an overspray or something on the top of the frets. Very, very common. It could also be, well, it could be just the lacquer kind of coming towards the top of the fret. It just doesn't look right to me. So I'm going to go through each one of these frets. I'm going to use a simple mask here, stainless steel. You can get them on any e-commerce site. And this is 1500 grit micro mesh. And I'm just going to give this a real quick scooch like that. I already did this one just for test. And then I go to the next one. Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. So that was 1500. Looks great. Okay, I'll get rid of that. We're not going for like a full-on like bling type of super shiny sort of thing. We're gonna get pretty close, but we're not gonna get that close because we don't have to. Okay, so that was 2400. I'm gonna bump up to 4000. Anyway, as I was saying, regarding the factory finishes, take Martin for instance. Like, they've been making guitars for, I don't know, a couple hundred years almost. They kind of know what's going on. In fact, I was just having a discussion with a very, very, very good client of mine today being spring of 2024 in the general sense, and he owns many high-end premium acoustic guitars and electrics, of course. And he says by far Martin acoustics are consistently superior. All different sizes and models and stuff that he has, Martin guitars are consistently superior instruments in playability, tone, all the good things. And the funny thing is, Martin fretwork is not as refined in terms of finish as you might think. They don't, not that they can't or wouldn't or haven't, but most of the vast majority of Martins I've worked on, which are many, they have a brushed, almost a brushed finish. In fact, there's a grain that goes this way on the guitars, on the on the frets, and it's quite apparent. Again, that was 4,000. Anyway, I digress. The point of my comment here is that when I work on instruments, whether it be Fender, Gibson, Martin, Taylor, whatever it is, unless otherwise directed, I will reproduce whatever finish is appropriate for the guitar. I'm not going to go and put a super high polish finish on a fret when for one, it hasn't been directed as such, and unless I'm told to do it, I don't do it. Simple as that. Okay, let's see what we wound up with. I don't know, that looks pretty spiffy to me. You'll see in some light, you can see the what will become eventually the routing. As the finish wears down, you'll see finger routing marks start to occur. Now, I try to minimize that, but I don't try to eliminate it. There's a big difference there, because every time you polish something, it's a destructive process, because you're reducing the thickness of whatever material is on the instrument. It might be in microns, but it's still a degradation of the materials in the neck. Could be the body. You polish a body, fine, great, it'll look great, but you're thinning out the finish. You got to look at it like, okay, where's my fine balance of visual? Of course, there's the whole relicing thing anyway. But I think this turned out just dandy. Very, very simple. We got a nice high polish on that. The frets look really, really good. There's some slight pitting. That would be from the chatter from the strings and the original factory work and stuff. So this is actually a little bit cleaner than it would have come from the factory. And there's some minor pitting and stuff like that. But otherwise, it turned out really, 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 really good. And little to no solvents or cleaners, which is kind of interesting. But at the end of the day, I'll take a damp paper towel and just give it a real quick once over, just to pick up any surface grime and the stuff that you don't necessarily see. Just make sure it's super clean. Anyway, my name is Steve. Thanks for watching. As always, play loud, have fun, have a great day. Read the description below for those resources. They're freebies, good stuff down there. And as always, like and subscribe. Have a great day. Cheers. Thanks.